a big, fat panda.
I'm not a big fat panda. I'm the big fat panda. Skadoosh.
My friends are telling me that I'm speaking differently because we're at the tea. I don't think I'm speaking any differently whatsoever. A Cheshire?
It's Cheshire.
Oh, very nice. Rhett, what are you selecting from the tea menu?
I will also be choosing the Bedfordshire tea.
The Bedfordshire, very nice. You know, you do get, that's not the actual, that's the theme of the package, but you get to also choose a tea.
I know.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Big Fat Panda, show number 33. Tea at the Grand Floridian was a lot better than I thought. I think the package that I got was $35, and I said at first, $35 for tea. But it wasn't just tea. There were these amazing little sandwiches and dessert and tea with this little, I called it a koozie. I was told it's a cozy that goes on top of the pot. It was fantastic. I would do it again. For $35, it was well worth it. My very special guest a little bit later is Jim Hill from Jim Hill Media. Allow me to mention my exclusive sponsor, David's Vacation Club Rentals at DVCRentals.com. I can't say enough good things about this company. I've had a lot of people come up to me and thank me for recommending them, so please, when you get a chance, check out DVCRentals.com. So recently, for 2 nights, the Magic Kingdom celebrated DVC members and their families and friends. Thank you, Marilyn Garfinkel and Kathy Sabelski, for taking me as their guest. From 9 p.m. till midnight, it was quite intimate. There was not a lot of people in the Magic Kingdom, and there was a lot of special things going on. Special character meet and greets, special fireworks, a little bit of food out. Not all the lands were open, but it was a lot of fun. Do you remember the Cadaver Dans? These are the music people that are dead. And they usually only come out for like Halloween time over at the Horseshoe Jamboree, the Diamond Horseshoe Jamboree. But they were out in front of the Haunted Mansion, the Cadaver Dans. Crazy to learn love, crazy won't matter words not here. Life's a bitter shame, crazy going off the rails on a crazy train, going crazy, going off the rails on a crazy train, crazy train, crazy train. They are so talented. And then the stretching room. You know the portraits in the stretching room? One of them is the lady with the parasol. I didn't even know that she had a name. But her name is Daisy de la Cruz. She's French, who knew? And she tells us the story about how she got into the mansion, crossing over the tight wire rope into Tom Sawyer Island.
They put the tight rope here, over this water right here, over to, how you say, the Ile de Sieur Tom Sawyer. Merci, merci. He needs a new wardrobe, oui? They put my rope from here to the Ile de Tom Sawyer. And as I start, I look down and I see what you call, le Florida wildlife. I was not used to seeing that in France, you know. Usually I just see a bunch of people like you going, oui, but I see this, I thought he was a hungry hippo. Oui, because he looked big, like he had a lot to eat that day. And big teeth looking at me. And the drool, you know what I'm saying? The drool. Bonsoir again.
Yes,
I know you. And it was coming down, and I thought he was a fan of mine. I mean, who would not be, right? I said to him, see you later, alligator. And that's the last thing I remember. Ever since then, I have been here at the mansion. I can't seem to get away, but it's okay.
Wasn't she incredible? I loved her. I think she also plays Betty Shambles over at the studios in the Streetmosphere, the Citizens of Hollywood. And I want to show you the finale of the special fireworks. They were incredible. I wasn't so much into the music. It was more like pop music and stuff like that, but instead of fantasy, you know, Disney music. But look at this finale. It was just incredible. It was really incredible. Okay, something coming up new for April 4th. You have to get this on your calendars. I actually don't want you to know about it because I'm scared of the crowds, but if you can come by all means. April 4th, the studios is starting a whole new Star Wars saga. Okay, what's happening at the studios? There's definitely a new stage show. Okay, so I'm guessing this is at night. I don't have a schedule yet, but there's a new stage show which is going to have Kylo Ren and a lot of the characters that we know from Star Wars. Throughout the day, they're going to do a march. Captain Phasma and the Stormtroopers are going to march, I think, from Launch Bay over to the stage over by the Chinese Theater. I think it's from there. I'm really not sure. When they say throughout the day, I'm thinking this is going to happen 3 or 4 times. They say you're going to be able to see all the might of the First Order. But the big thing for me is what they're doing with the fireworks at night. They're going to have the projection all over the Chinese Theater. They're going to have beams of light that look like lightsabers in the sky, towers of fire. They're calling it epic. April 4th, we're going to see a fireworks show that they say is the best and the most amazing in the history of Hollywood studios. And of course, it was Easter time. I know Easter's over, but you really have to see some of the great things that the Magic Kingdom did for Easter so you know for next year what to look for. The Grand Floridian did their chocolate Easter egg display again. It's always beautiful. This year, a little bit more so. They added a lot of new things. The Good Dinosaur was added, BB-8 was added, among others. To think that they're just made of chocolate is incredible. And Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny were out at the Magic Kingdom to greet guests. It's more than just an Easter thing, it's also a spring thing, so they might still be out at the beginning of April. You might want to take a look. Then before they have the real parade, the Festival of Fantasy Parade, they do a pre-Easter parade. These are the Azalea Trail Maids. I forgot what state they come from, forgive me, but somebody will comment on this video and tell me where they're from. They were very proud of their state that these ladies came from. But they're beautiful, and Nick and Judy from Zootopia were in this parade as well. As if the new Castle Hub wasn't beautiful enough, for spring some new characters have been added. Flowers. Yes, they're not really any character, they're just beautiful flowers. It's simple, it's pretty. Don't you just love little extra things like that? I've never seen them before. Can anybody tell me if they've been there before? I have never seen them in the Magic Kingdom. Now, next month is going to be a busy month with all the new Star Wars stuff happening and the Rivers of Light coming out. And you know, if you follow BigFatPanda.com, you're going to have a lot of Rivers of Light stuff coming out because I'm very excited about that. They were recently doing some new testing. Here's a little bit of video of their testing courtesy of InsideTheMagic.net. I know that we can't ascertain a lot from that testing, but it should be a great show, and you know we're going to have it for you, so keep following along. I'm also getting back to my roots a little bit. BigFatPanda.com was founded on PandaVision, which is basically my gimmick name for multi-angle videos. So I haven't been doing a lot of attraction videos because I seem to have done almost all of them, but I never did It's a Small World, so I released an It's a Small World PandaVision. For those of you that don't know what PandaVision is, here's a quick glimpse of it. Basically a nice way for you to feel like you're there and on the ride and see both close-up and nice far-away shots, just to give you the real feeling of the attraction. Okay, new merchandise is coming out all the time. There's a lot of merchandise out now for the Flower and Garden Festival. Let's go look with Corinne Andersson at another episode of Mouse-A-Holics.
Stop laughing! Stop laughing! Yeah, because he's laughing. Okay. Okay, say 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Hi everybody and welcome back to Mouse-A-Holics. My name is Corinne Andersson and this month we're going to check out some of my favorite picks from Epcot's Flower and Garden Festival, so come along. So, I don't garden, but when I do garden, it's Epcot's Flower and Garden. And the merchandise has just been released for this year's Epcot Flower and Garden Festival, and it's amazing. So for this year, it features one of this little fella that's called Figment, and some of you may recognize him from Journey into Your Imagination right here at Epcot. And he is totally the mascot this year. So you can see this mug, it's like this, and we have t-shirts, flower pots. Donald makes a visit as a garden stake. If you like flower and gardening, this is the merchandise for you. So one of my other favorite picks from the festival is this Tarvis tumbler with the second print they released for this year's festival. And this features a flower mini, and for you Figment fans, you will see he's still here, but in a more flowery print. And you can see there's a t-shirt and that print too with Figment. So your Figment fans can go insane during this festival. So my last pick from the festival, of course, is the Dooney and Bourke exclusive bag for the festival, and it's one of my favorite prints. It's all flowery and green. It features Minnie, Mickey, Donald, and again, Figment. This is the only Dooney and Bourke bag that has a Figment print. So I mean, you have to buy it if you're a fan, right? So they come in 3 different sizes. This is the biggest one. You have a letter carrier down here, and a little clutch. Perfect bag for everyone. So that was my favorite pick from this month, and if you're an Epcot Flower and Garden Festival fan, the festival continues all the way into May, and you can find tons of merchandise all over Epcot, World Showcase, and Future World. And make sure you come back for even more merchandise next month, and to see merchandise every day, please visit Disney Lifestylers.
And this is Corinne's sister who helped us in.
Honorary mic holder.
So my exclusive sponsor, David's Vacation Club Rentals, at DVCRentals.com. Lately I've been doing less Periscope for them and more Facebook Live video, although the Facebook Live video button is gone now. I don't know what happened to it. First, we were able to do Facebook Live videos, and now from all of our pages, we're not able to do it anymore, so Facebook is doing something different. To follow them on Periscope, which is also their Twitter, it's at DVC Rentals. Just like DVCRentals.com is their website address, at DVC Rentals. You would get a notification on Periscope when I'm there live filming something. Or if I'm on Facebook, and they do the Facebook Live video, there's a little button on the top right that says subscribe live. David's Vacation Club Rentals, of course, is on Facebook. They're very popular on Facebook. They have a great blog going on too. I sometimes write for their blog, but if you get a chance, go to their Facebook address. I'll put it right up here, and just like the page. Be associated with them. It's like being more associated with me. Really a great company. If you're looking to go to Disney and need accommodations, check out their website. There's a price calculator right on their website, and it would basically tell you exactly how much it is, no hidden fees, for anything you want as far as accommodations. And you're renting someone's vacation club points. It's so much less expensive than going through Disney Central Reservation for the same accommodations and the same benefits being a guest at Disney. And once again, the prize for this month is going to be 2 BigFatPanda.com t-shirts. We did send some t-shirts already, and those people have sent me photos. That is Stephanie Hendricks. Thank you, Stephanie. That is Marcos Ramirez. Thank you, Marcos. And if I see you in the park with one of my shirts, that's just going to make me go crazy. In a good way. I'll just be like, so excited. In order to be in the running for one of these shirts, please give this video a big thumbs up, put any comment you want at the bottom, and make sure you're subscribed to BigFatPanda.com on YouTube. And now, let's get to our special guest, Mr. Jim Hill from Jim Hill Media. And as promised, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Hill is here.
Hi.
Hello, Jim.
John?
No, I gotta give you a panda hug.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay with you?
Okay. Thank you for inviting me to Stately Panda Manor.
Thank you. Thank you. Last night, which will now be a little bit of time, Jim was kind enough to take me to a event as his guest for Zootopia.
We wanted something to talk about, and Disney was nice enough to invite me down for the junket, and I figured we go to the movie, we go to the party, we have something to talk about.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. What did you think of Zootopia?
I really liked it, but again, I'm a fan of what Disney's been doing since Bolt. Since they turned it around.
Bolt is a forgotten about movie that I loved in the theater, and you do kind of forget about Bolt.
Well, it was the first one that, after Disney acquired Pixar, it was the first one that Lasseter kind of stepped in and worked on, and of course, there's a lot of folks who. That was Chris Sanders' movie, originally American Dog. And
really?
There's a lot of people who will tell stories about that version of the film and how they wish they'd gone forward with that. But John wanted to make a movie that he wanted to see.
There's a lot of similarities, actually, between Bolt and Zootopia when you think of like the pigeons and that kind of characters. And
that's it exactly. In fact, John, the story that Byron Howard told last night was that when he went to John and said, "I want to make a talking animal movie like an anthropomorphic animal talking movie like Robin Hood or Song of the South." John physically hugged him and lifted him up, which, a panda hug is great, but a John Lasseter hug, it's
you want me to lift you up? Will that do it?
No,
so for those of you that, few of you that may not know Jim Hill is Jim Hill Media, JimHillMedia.com. And I believe you work closely now with Len Testa?
Yeah. Also, I forgot, there's some godforsaken reason, the Huffington Post also has taken me on board.
That's an awesome thing.
It's intriguing. So, I've been writing about the Disney company for 30 plus years at this point. God, I'm old. So, anyway, you were saying.
Out of all the things that you are, like we know, Disney historian, definitely a storyteller. I don't know if you even know how much more of a storyteller you are. And I was telling you that you had reminded me of Jim Corcus. When you tell a story, and we'll get a story from him, it really brings you in. If somebody said, "What are you?" and you had to pick one thing, what would you say? Long-winded storyteller. The thing that's in my, the about. I know no short stories. It's just sort of like, if I start something, it's like, get a sandwich. You are full of information.
Well, the other things too, which is why we're lucky we're in a well-ventilated room. So anyway.
All right, so let's start with something. Let's well, first of all, you were a stand-up comic, really? I could see that.
Back in the Paleozoic age.
Okay.
All right.
Did it happen? Did it happen?
Well, no. I actually, it was kind of interesting. I was doing stand-up in Boston. In fact, it was. To give you carbon dating on this, the people I used to do open mic nights with were Bobcat Goldthwait and Stephen Wright. Yeah, we used to, that there were the Ding Ho in Boston and all of these, and the thing of it is that Steven and Bobcat, the reason they made it through is they're these guys who could go up on stage and do the exact same thing every night and really be great at it. And I think that's ultimately one of the reasons I stepped away from stand-up, was the notion of how do you make something sound... Well, yeah, every night. And they could. And eventually, that's one of the reasons I drifted into comedy writing. Because after about the 30th time of you doing a joke, it's just sort of like you're on autopilot and you're like...
You need to talk to a Jungle Cruise skipper. Could you imagine?
I have such respect for them.
Just even keeping it this much fresh after the 90th time in the same day.
So, no, but again, that was early 80s. I mean, lots of Reagan and cat versus dog jokes. Very long time ago.
Your journalism, it said, I read Army journalist.
Yes. In fact, that's a whole, we could do a whole show about that. I mean, just basically, I joined the Army in '83, and I ended up, again, I had a friend who had gone to Japan and written a novel, and he was in the service, and had his wonderful Japanese wife, and I thought, oh, that sounds like a wonderful thing to do. And I joined the Army during the 5 minutes that they decided,
we're going to war.
Well, no, that's actually, I was in from 83 to 87, and we behaved ourselves during that period. All right, but at the same time, they decided rather than send journalists around the world where you spent the first year learning the terrain, learning the politicians, all that. No, let's send them to where they came from. So I literally ended up stationed at Fort Devens, which was 15 minutes from my parents' house. So, so in my case, instead of join the Army, see the world, it's join the Army, see your neighborhood.
See your parents.
Yeah, well, no, I would go home to do laundry. I mean, I was born in 59. The family went cross-country in 1970. And I kept a diary of the trip until we got to Disneyland. And then, for me, trip over. Diary done.
I'm surprised you didn't. I would think you'd write more about Disneyland because you were so into it.
Well, no. Once I get to Disneyland, forget the rest of the country. I've been to Disneyland. Were you already planning to go back? Like you thought this was? Well, it was one of these things to actually get there. And I mean, this is 1970. We were there. I think Haunted Mansion had only been open for a year at that point.
Wow.
In fact,
So this is Disneyland. Obviously.
Disneyland, yeah, and ended up buying with my trip money. I got the Haunted Mansion Storyteller album, which I still have somewhere in the house. Again, I ended up as an entertainment reporter in a weird, geeky sort of way. I mean, they actually there's an Army journalism school. It was actually used to be at Fort Benjamin Harrison. My official MOS, my military occupational skill, was 71Q, military journalist. But I went to school with a lovely woman, Marjorie Ebert, who ended up all the way on the other side of the country at, I want to say 29 Pines. It was a base down in Southern California. Anyway, long story short, she's a base commander who's just this complete PR hog, just loves to get his face in the newspaper. And this is 84. And this is the year that the Walt Disney Company is celebrating Donald Duck's 50th birthday. And the commander walks into the office one day, and it's like, Donald Duck is turning 50. It's like, yes. He made cartoons that were in World War II, didn't he? And Marjorie's like, well, wait a minute, I don't know that, but I remember this total geek from school who talked about nothing about Disney. Hang on. Gets on the phone, calls me at Fort Devens, and says to Donald Duck, then why, yes, Sergeant Buck of this, and, give her the information. So she turns around and tells her base commander. And the next question is, did he ever retire from the military? And it's like, calls me, and I don't know.
About Donald Duck?
Donald Duck. Oh. And then it's like, well, I don't know, but who you should call? Here's Dave Smith. And I give her the contact of him. She contacts the archive, and well, no, Donald never retired. And the base commander comes up with this idea. He's going to stage at the base a full military retirement ceremony for Donald Duck.
Stop it.
Seriously. All right, you can Google this. There are photos. In fact, if you go...
was it a Disney sanctioned thing? Or
well, no, actually, Disney totally gets on board. When they reach out, it's like, absolutely. They go into the Disneyland Costume Archive and pull out every duck suit, all right? So they're sending Daisy, they're sending the nephews, they're sending Scrooge McDuck and Donald in a costume that they made of a 1940s Army soldier.
I remember with the...
Yes, that's it exactly.
Yeah.
And there's actually this amazing photo.
Wasn't he like in a cartoon marching with a gun and stuff?
No,
yeah.
that's it exactly. Yeah. But there's this great picture of the base commander, they called them grip and grins.
You have to get me this photo. We're going to put it right here.
Okay. But the base commander doing the grip and grin with Donald and holding the civic, they actually promoted him. That he went from being Private Duck to Sergeant Duck. Anyway, long story short, and the thing is, if you go on YouTube, the Donald Duck 50th birthday TV special that Dick Van Dyke hosts, they actually have footage of this. You can see the period cars. You can see the people lining the street. 1,500 soldiers, a military band passing in review. I mean, that's the one thing Disney didn't take into consideration. These poor people who were in the duck costumes had to be in it for hours. You know, it wasn't like you're on stage for a half hour and then go off. Wow. The whole ceremony. So by the end, poor Donald's dying. Anyway, long story short, Marjorie has this amazing picture, writes a quick story, cuts it out, sends it to me. And, you know, just as a thank you, you know, you helped make this possible. And just like, and it's a fun story, and it's a great picture. And I write back to her and say, I'd love to do this for my base paper. Would you be okay with me writing my own version, and I'll use your photo and we'll credit it? She's like, no, absolutely. So she sends me a black and white 8x10. I write the story. For some reason, the AP wire service picks up my version of the story. It goes worldwide. But awesome. But the beautiful thing is it's got Marjorie's photo, and she same thing. She's thrilled it's gone worldwide. Suddenly Disney starts reaching out and like, hey, we liked your story. By the way, we're about to do Disneyland's 30th anniversary party. Would you like to come out and cover that? And it then kind
This was the beginning for you.
Yeah.
This is how it's so for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's all on the back of some poor sweaty teenager inside of a Donald Duck outfit. I think we were just talking last night about, you know, they're about to do Rivers of Light at Disney's Animal Kingdom, and don't get me wrong, spectacular show. I'm going to be amazing. They're
pushing it to be epic.
Mm-hmm. But you know, but at the same time, this opens this incredible, you know, the can of worms. In that, I mean, think about it. You're going to try to extend the operating hours of that theme park, upwards of 5 hours.
Upwards of 5 hours.
In fact, last night when we drove in. You know, in fact, one of the other things they're going to be doing as part of this is the new nighttime safari.
Oh, we saw the eternal sunset?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. We were coming in, and this giant wall of orange, and it
looked like the sun was setting.
And it was like, what's that? And it's just like, no, this is what they're going to do to keep the safari lit up. You know, that at night, so you can go out.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that for Rivers of Light, they built this amazing stadium, but now they have to figure. If you're going to do 2 shows a night, all right.
Is it 2?
Well, that's supposedly the plan.
It looks so big that how could you not see it from the park, like, and have the show be surprising to you the second time?
More to the point, I mean, I mean, face it. That's, for example, why they're building Tiffin's. I mean, they want places for people to eat inside the park. I mean, let alone. You know, when they open Avatar next year or 2017.
Right. Well, let's talk about what are you most excited for of the new stuff coming? Is it Pandora? Is it Star Wars? Toy Story? What do you really yourself forget?
Well, I mean, you know,
covering.
It's kind of interesting to me. I mean, for a lot of Disney fans, Disney theme park fans, Disney purists, they're really not happy about Avatar. They're really, I mean, because it's not a Disney property. On the other hand, from talking with the people who've been working on this, again, I mean, Joe Rohde on down, these people are doing killer work. And you've been over the park. You've seen the rock, you know, the floating mountains that are sitting.
I just think it fits so well into the whole theme of Animal Kingdom. I can't wait.
No, it's going to be amazing. But it's also going to be the first real area of a theme park where they're going to actually tell you, look, go during the day, experience the rides. But go back at night to see the bioluminescent forest. You know, and well, but again, this is all about taking Animal Kingdom, which let's remember has been open since April of 1998. Wow. And think about it. This is a park where 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You
went home.
Yeah, and
it was done.
No other Disney park is like that. So now this is about extending its operating hours till 10 o'clock at night. In fact, that's the other challenge going to be with Rivers of Light. Think about it. You have the show where it has to be dark enough to present it because you have all of this, for example, the projection mapping that you do of the Tree of Life. It's got to be dark enough so you can read that. During the summer?
Right, it's not dark until like 8 o'clock sometimes out here.
Yeah.
Even 8:30.
Yeah. So,
they're going to be open until 10 maybe.
Well, no, that's the hope. I mean, that's the whole thing with the glow-in-the-dark sun for the safari,
I forgot about that, because right now it's getting dark, about 5:30, 6 o'clock?
Yep.
But in the summer here, really, 8:30, I've seen it still be bright, where you can't do that. Interesting.
So with all this work that's being done on Disney's Hollywood Studios, they need a new name. And they seem to have settled on, again, he hates his name, Disney's Cinemagic Kingdom. Which again, you could go ahead.
I just don't like that the Magic Kingdom is in there. You just have to put Cine in front of it. But I heard that they hired someone from Universal who did Harry Potter to help them with Star Wars.
That's Scott Trowbridge. He's done great work at Universal for years. And what's interesting is if you read the press reports, Scott is very quick to say, I worked very early on Harry Potter. Again, the notion is, reading between the lines, I didn't walk out the door with a giant suitcase full of, this is what they're going to do, Disney, get ready!
There's all the places that we can find you online. And we know JimHillMedia.com.
Yeah. Huffington Post, I'm on the entertainment page. They've been after me.
Facebook, Jim Hill?
Yeah. And
Twitter?
I think... see, this is the problem. Nancy handles any of it.
Okay. I'll find out and I'll put it up here.
Okay, I'm just the chimp who types the stories. All right, just sort of like,
I was reading his about himself on the page. Like, I don't know who wrote that. It's probably Nancy.
Probably Nancy. So.
Well, we have to do this again.
Okay.
Because there's more stories and I can't put them all in one show, so we have to do this again.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming.
No. It was great fun. And again, thank you for inviting me to stately Panda Manor. So.
And there you have it, show number 33. Thank you again for watching. Next month's show should be great. We have so many exciting things happening. And we have another special guest, a very special guest, dear to my heart, Deb Wills from allears.net. Be right here on the Big Fat Panda Show. So please tune in for that. Once again, let me remind you, if you, a loved one, a family member, or a friend are thinking of taking a trip to Walt Disney World, please check out my exclusive sponsor at DVCRentals.com. I love that little, I just do. Check them out, DVCRentals.com. You will not be sorry that you did. If you have any questions or on them, you can call them, but you could also write me. I will answer any questions. If I don't know, I will contact them, whatever you feel more comfortable with. So go forth, create pandemonium, and above all, keep giving out those panda hugs. I will see you for a very exciting next month. Thank you for subscribing, and stay tuned. Until next time, Panda out.